Max Verstappen's future at Red Bull Racing is now a full-blown saga, and it's picking up momentum fast. What started as whispers in the paddock has turned into front-page news across the F1 world. And the trigger? A little-known clause in Max's contract that could change everything. The reigning world champion might have a way out, and Helmut Marko just confirmed the timeline that could set it all in motion. If Verstappen walks, it won't just shake up Red Bull. It'll send shockwaves across the entire Formula One grid. And with big players like Mercedes and Aston Martin quietly circling, we could be on the brink of a silly season unlike anything we've seen before. So let's take a deep dive. What exactly is going on behind the scenes? What's pushing Max toward the exit door? And what would a post-Verstappen Red Bull even look like? To understand why Max might leave, we need to understand where things started to fall apart. Because this isn't just about one bad weekend or one slow car. This is about momentum. And for Red Bull, that momentum has been slipping fast. Let's go back to the start of the 2025 season. Expectations were sky high. Red Bull had just come off one of the most dominant championship runs in history. Max was on top of the world, and the RB21 was expected to continue where its predecessor left off. But instead of dominance, we got inconsistency. In Bahrain, Verstappen struggled. Tire degradation became a major issue. Overtaking was harder than usual, and for a few laps, he was stuck behind midfield cars. Yes, even a Haas and an Alpine. It's not what you expect from a four-time world champion in supposedly the best car on the grid. Then came Suzuka, where Max won. But let's be honest, that race was more about track position than pure pace. Suzuka rewards drivers who start at the front. It's not a track that exposes weaknesses like high tire wear or poor straight-line speed. And Red Bull's weaknesses? They're becoming harder to ignore. Behind the scenes, Red Bull is losing more than just pace. They're losing key personnel. Adrian Newey, the genius behind many of their best cars, is being heavily linked with other projects, and possibly even a departure. Honda, their engine partner, is already preparing to walk away after 2025 and pair up with Aston Martin. The core that built Red Bull's success is slowly unraveling. Meanwhile, McLaren and Ferrari are surging. Even Mercedes, who had a rough couple of years, are showing signs of serious improvement in 2025. Suddenly, Red Bull is no longer the team to beat. They're the team trying to stay in the fight. Which brings us to the contract clause. According to multiple reports, Verstappen has an exit clause that allows him to leave if he falls below third in the Drivers' Championship. And as of right now, he's hanging on to third place by a thread, just 6 points ahead of George Russell. That could change in one weekend. Now Max hasn't confirmed the clause, but he hasn't denied it either. In fact, when asked about his future, his answer was telling, "I don't know what the future holds." That's not just vague, it's wide open. Helmut Marko, never one to sugarcoat things, confirmed that the summer break is when this clause becomes a real discussion point. He said, "Yes, the summer break is the time window for Max's exit clause to be talked about." Translation: Red Bull has until August to fix this. If they can't convince Max that the RB21 is competitive and that the 2026 project is on track, they could lose the cornerstone of their entire program. So, what happens if Max leaves? Let's talk destinations. There are two serious contenders, Mercedes and Aston Martin. Let's start with Mercedes. They've been biding their time, and according to sources close to the team, their development for the 2026 engine regulations is going extremely well. That's huge. The new rules will drastically increase the role of hybrid energy. Battery power will account for 50% of engine output. Whoever nails that balance will dominate the next era. On top of that, George Russell's contract talks have gone quiet, very quiet. And in F1, silence usually means one thing. Something big is brewing behind closed doors. Toto Wolff has never been shy about chasing top talent. If Max becomes available, you can bet he'll make a play. But here's where it gets interesting. Aston Martin might have the emotional edge. Aston is building something ambitious. They're not just a midfield team anymore. They've signed a works deal with Honda. They're investing in infrastructure, bringing in top engineers, and allegedly targeting Adrian Newey as well. More importantly, they have history with Max. Honda was a key part of all 4 of Verstappen's titles. He has deep respect for them. He's spoken publicly about their professionalism, dedication, and the chemistry they've built. "It's been an unbelievable ride," he said. "They've given me so much, and I've really enjoyed my time with them." Honda feels the same way. President Koji Watanabe recently stated, "We hope to work with Max again. He communicates so well with our engineers. They've become huge fans of his." At Aston Martin, Honda will have influence over driver choices. That's part of their agreement, just like they had with Red Bull. And with Fernando Alonso in the final stages of his career, there could be a seat waiting for Verstappen. Aston would offer Max the chance to recreate the magic, only this time, with more control and possibly even more say in the team's direction. And let's not forget, the team's owner, Lawrence Stroll, is aggressively ambitious. He's willing to spend whatever it takes to win. So Max now faces a fascinating choice. Stay at Red Bull and hope they recover. Hope they sort the RB21. Hope they fix their wind tunnel correlation issues. Hope 2026 doesn't turn into another 2014-style domination, this time by someone else. Or leave. Start fresh. Join Mercedes and inherit the engine advantage. Or go to Aston Martin, link up with Honda again, and try to build something legendary from the ground up. It's not just about contracts and clauses anymore, it's about belief. Does Max still believe in Red Bull's vision? Does he trust that the team he's brought so much success to still has what it takes to stay on top? Because if that trust is broken, even a little, it might already be too late. The summer break is coming, and the decision Verstappen makes in that window won't just define his career, it could reshape the entire grid for the next 5 years. So we want to hear from you. If you're Max, what would you do? Stick it out at Red Bull? Jump ship to Mercedes? Or gamble on Aston Martin and try to build a legacy with a new team? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more high-stakes F1 breakdowns like this. And if you want to dive deeper into the Red Bull Honda Aston Martin triangle, check out the next video on your screen. It explains how that split happened and what it means for the next era of Formula One. We'll see you there.